Alright, what's up guys? In today's video, we will be discussing the one mindset shift you need to make getting ripped easy. Alright, some background about me before we get in. I've been bodybuilding for about 8 years. I've done multiple bulk and cut cycles. I've gone from 20+% body fat to down to 7% body fat, maybe even leaner. So I've done this numerous times, and this is the mindset shift you need to make getting shredded easy. Now, the reason a lot of people struggle when they do diets is because when they first start, the first couple days in, they realize how difficult it is. So let's say they're eating at a 1,000 calorie deficit, and let's say after a couple of days, after day one, they're starving, and after day two, they're starving, and after day three, they're starving. Well, they start to think to themselves, they do the math, they're like, okay, I need to lose 30 pounds of fat. And it's going to take me, if I eat in a deficit of 1,000 calories, if I'm in a deficit of 1,000 calories every day, I will lose 30 pounds in 15 weeks. And they start thinking, well, if I'm struggling on day three, how am I going to make it to day 50? But you can't think like that. What you have to do is you have to take everything one day at a time. That means don't focus about how you think you're going to feel in the future. Focus on how you currently feel now. Because I will tell you this, there have been so many times where there were days where I was starving, but then further along in the future, there were days when I wasn't hungry enough to eat food despite being in a large deficit. Okay, so I was always in a 1,000 calorie deficit, and there were days where I was very hungry. There were days where I would eat my allotted calorie thresholds earlier than I normally would, and I would be hungry for the rest of the day. But similarly, there would be days when I just had no appetite whatsoever, and you have to look forward to those days because you do not know how you will feel in the future. There will be days where dieting feels super easy. There will be days where dieting feels super normal. And conversely, there will be days where you're just extremely hungry for no apparent reason. So what you have to do is you have to take everything one day at a time. So if you're on day 3 of your diet and you're wondering how you're gonna make it to day 70, if you're starving at day 3, don't worry about that. Just worry about day 3 and take things one day at a time because time will pass. The time will go. The time will progress. So what you do is you focus on the day you're at and the hour you're at, and you just focus on hitting your caloric deficit every single day. If you do that, I assure you, there will be days where you're not hungry. There will be days where you don't want to eat. There will be days where dieting feels normal and you're not starving. I promise you, take everything one day at a time. That's a huge problem a lot of people have. Is they think too far in the future. They future forecast way too much, but you can't future forecast because you do not know how you're going to feel in the future. Okay, so take things one day at a time. Just because you're starving on day 4 doesn't mean you'll be starving on day 40. Doesn't mean you'll be starving on day 60. That doesn't mean you'll be starving from day 60 to 80. You might feel normal. Okay, right? So you don't know how you're going to feel in the future. I promise you that there will be days where if you're in a deficit of like 1,000 calories, there will be days where you don't, where like, eating, your allotted calories might feel like too much. So take everything one day at a time. You can't worry about the future, right? All you can do is worry about the present moment and do what you need to in that day. If you don't worry about the long don't don't worry about the entire duration, right? So let's say you have a 100-day cut to reach your goal. Focus on day 1 when you're on day 1. Focus on day 2 when you're on day 2. Focus on day 20 when you're on day 20. Don't worry about making it to day 80. If you focus on one day at a time, you will hit your goal. I promise you. And that is all I've got for you guys today. That is the mindset that got me shredded. That is the mindset that got me shredded numerous times, stage lane. And if you guys are interested, to offer coaching, how to get jacked, how to bodybuild and run concurrently, how to get shredded, all that good stuff. Links in the bio if y'all are interested. And if you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.